Welcome back, Odooers. Now that we've set up our marketing automation campaign, it's time to automate some activities. Now, setting up automated activities frees up a ton of time that would have otherwise been spent on manual, repetitive tasks, allowing us to spend more time on things that actually matter, like growing our business. Now, with Odoo marketing automation, we can trigger different actions to automatically happen when a specific type of engagement or lack of engagement occurs. Now, with properly configured automation, we can ensure that we always reach out to the right customers at the right time without bombarding them with unwanted messages to the point of annoyance. Not only that, but we can also automate actions that happen within our server to keep our workflow moving forward and automatically without any time consuming manual data entry. That's why at Stealthywood, we make sure to use Odoo marketing automation to keep in touch with our customers and cater to their unique needs or wants without wasting time on mundane tasks. So let's jump into our Stealthywood database within Odoo and see how easy it is to automate marketing activities in just a few clicks. All right, it's time to automate some activities for our Nurture Leads campaign that we've been working on in previous videos. And it should be noted that the activities are going to be related to mailing campaigns, not SMS campaigns. So be sure to keep that in mind. So we're going to click on add a new activity. We'll name the first activity email blog because that's precisely what this activity will do when it's triggered. It will email our company blog to all the records that fit the criteria of my marketing campaign. Now, we'll want our activity type set on email, but we could just as easily select SMS if we wanted to send text messages to our opportunities. However, we'd need their phone numbers in our database for that feature to work properly. We'd also need enough credits from Odoo to send an SMS, but we'll touch on all that in a future video. For now, let's stick with email. So, activity type is now an email, and we can now choose to select a pre-configured email template or create a new one on the fly, which that's what we're going to do in just a moment. Now, I'm going to select our email blog mail template because it's already modified exactly how we want. This saves us a lot of time during the campaign building process, which is always a plus. So, by selecting it, now we'll want this activity to trigger an hour after the start of our workflow. So, if we select 1 hour after, and then we have everything set up. Also, if we have a time sensitive campaign or an upcoming event, I can select this expiry box to ensure that this activity will stop being triggered after a certain date. No one wants to hear about a concert or event that ended. But in this case, we can leave that unselected. Now, we can also add more specific filters in the domain selection here to target an even more niche audience, but I want this campaign to reach all of my new opportunities. So I'll leave that alone. And that's just because, we want to reach everyone. But should you ever need to target a more specific audience with an activity, this is where you'd be able to do that. And in our case, we'll do what I always say, and that is save. Okay. And there's our first activity, complete with some easy to read analytics and data that will automatically populate once people start interacting with our campaign. Speaking of, let's talk about configuring sub activities to follow this one. These are referred to as child activities and will only be triggered depending on the lead's reaction to our previous marketing campaign activity. Now, if we hover over the add a child activity, we see a couple options pop up. Now, these are specific activities that will be triggered when someone interacts with a previous campaign activity in one way or another. This means you can automate an action to happen if they open, close, reply, don't reply, click, or don't click on a certain campaign activity. And Odoo will even tell you if any campaigns have bounced for one reason or another. In other words, we can automate different actions in addition to knowing the status of each activity, all in one location whenever we want with Odoo, which, as you can imagine, is a major time saver. Now, let's make a child activity occur every time this initial email is open. So we're going to add a child activity if opened. And the name is our email promo. Activity type, you guessed it, email. Now for this campaign, let's create a new mail template right now. And in our case, we're going to click the mail template field and we're going to type exclusive promo. And we're going to select create and edit. Now, we're going to select a template that looks like a promo, discount, coupon, and we're going to just adjust a few different things here. Like, we're going to rename it, add a building block. And I'm sorry, there is a lot of setup right here with this one, but it's all very necessary. So once that we're done with this, and thank you for bearing with me, we hit save. Now let's have this child activity sent one day after the initial email is open. This way we can stay in communication with our opportunities without annoying them with too many, messages. So our trigger is going to be one day after it's open. Now, again, you'll see all the data connected to this activity right here, and you can tell it's a child activity because it's indented and connected to the one above it. Odoo makes it super easy to differentiate which is which, but some activities don't always have to be forms of communications. They can be internal automations that happen in the back end of your business as well. Those are known as server actions. And now, for example, we can create an activity that will automatically move an opportunity to the qualified stage of our pipeline when triggered. That's exactly what we'll do now. And we'll showcase how it works with that modular desk opportunity we saw in the previous video. So let's create a child activity for our email promo activity and configure it so the opportunity will move from the new to the qualified stage in our pipeline. In other words, if leads show interest in this emailed promotional deal, and click on the link, we'll know that we can officially consider this opportunity a qualified one. And we can proceed from there. So we're going to do this by adding a child activity. And we're going to move to qualified and activity type server action as we talked. Now, just like our email template fields that we modified before, we can select a pre-configured server action or create one directly from this form on the fly, which is what we'll do right now. So there we go, server action, move to qualified, and we're going to create and edit this. Now our action is going to be named move to qualified. Now our model, again, lead opportunity, and our action, we need to update a record. And let's specify an activity filter down here in the in data to write field. We'll want to configure this domain equation to represent a lead moving to the qualified stage in our CRM app when triggered. So if we select add a line, and our stage. Now, this is going to be a reference, and the record is qualified. And then we're done. So we hit save and save again. Awesome. As you can see, setting up and automating activities for your marketing campaigns is easier than ever with Odoo marketing automation applications. Now, once that we save this as well, now we've got all of our activities set up for this campaign. And you know what it is? It's time to test everything out before we officially decide to start running it, which is actually exactly what we're going to cover in the very next video. So stay tuned, Odooers. You'll be seeing me again. And that's all for now, but I'll see you in the next one.